Now, Vancouver Craft Beer Week, it brings together three great ingredients for a fun summertime. There's beer, there's music, and there's barbecue. And Gregg is with us today. Karl is going to be there. He's the chef for Rosie's Barbecue and Smokehouse. Hello there and welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, and even better, I think, once I taste some of what you brought in today. So what is it that makes for a great barbecue? I know that's a packed question, but where do you start? What kinds of things do you think about?
Ingredients, so whether it's the meats, the wood, simplicity, salt, pepper, and then time. Long time. Briskets, anywhere from 12 to 14 hours. Ribs are 8 hours. Sausages, a little faster, but also the time and the craft to actually make the sausages. So.
Okay, so just time, but you have to, do you marinate first? Do you just do the slow cook, or
just a slow cook for us?
Okay.
We mimic more Central Texas barbecue style, so a lot of time, a lot of good wood, and salt and pepper.
Good wood, like what kind of wood?
Cherry wood, alder, birch, maple. Mostly birch and maple and cherry for us. A bit of alder here and there because of where we are.
I see. Okay, so what have you brought in for us today?
So we've got some 63 acres brisket is coming out of the Chilcotin and the interior BC. And then we've got some ribs out of the Fraser Valley, and then we've got some locally made beef sausage that we smoke ourselves, and we partner up with Columbus Meats on.
That's awesome. Okay, where do you start with the brisket?
So brisket, salt, pepper, 4 a.m. That's how we do. So usually 10 to 12 hours, depending on our weather. Vancouver weather's not been very kind to me lately.
So 10 to 12 hours where? Where are you smoking? In a smoker?
Yeah, so we have a 500-gallon pit smoker that we brought back from Texas.
Okay.
So we smoke pretty much anywhere that our event is. I'll try and get there super early and set up, and makes it a bit of a spectacle. And also people get to see what we're doing, and they get to understand how the time and the...
And they get to smell what you're doing, and that's what results in the lineups as well, wherever you end up setting up. How did you get into this? What interested you about
I've been a chef all my life, more or less. Mm-hmm. I did it as a hobby. And then I guess about a year into COVID, after smoking so much in my backyard for friends and family, I just decided I really liked it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Okay, so you've got the brisket. That's been smoked for 14 hours, let's just say. And then slice it fairly thick.
Yeah.
Fairly thick. Now, how would you serve something like this?
Usually just straight up with some good sides, like coleslaws, potato salads. Mac and cheese salad is a thing that we do for the summer because it's not hot. Yeah. But it's like mac and cheese.
Okay. Okay. Are you going to prepare something for me here? Or
yeah, I'll get some cut up for you here.
At what point do you say you take it out, you slice it through, and you say yes? What's your yes? How do you know?
For me, it's the look, and you can kind of see it's broken down a bit. It's bendy, which is another big thing about brisket, that it's
you don't want it to come out in a sheet. Yeah. I see. Okay. And it also looks moist.
And also the fat content. So that's why we partner with 63 Acres. Their beef is grass-fed and grain-finished, so they plump up a bit at the end, and there's really good fat content on it.
That looks gorgeous. My mouth is watering already. Okay, so you take that gorgeous piece of juicy brisket.
Yeah.
Slice it.
Slice it. We'd use it either for selling it by the pound or half pound or in sandwiches. Mm-hmm. And then a real Texas tradition is white bread, pickles, and onions.
Right.
Folded in around the brisket. It's kind of like a
you want me to do it? Am I folding it in?
Do that if you like.
Okay, so I'm just putting all of this on here, folding it all in?
A couple pieces and a little bit of pickle, a little bit of onion.
Okay, wait a second. What's this bright color here? What are we
looking at? These are Kool-Aid Pickles. We take garlic dill pickles, we slice them by hand, and then we take the brine and we add cherry Kool-Aid and sugar.
Really?
So it's a little bit vinegar, a little bit sweet, which works great with the fattiness of any of the meats that you're seeing.
You know, that's something you see in a lot of different types of food, right? So something a little bit acidic. A
little bit of vinegar to balance out the fat.
So have I done a good job there?
Yeah,
does that kind of work? And then I just fold it in?
A little lean in there, and then you're good to go.
I want to still keep talking. Why don't you start explaining the ribs, and I'll take a bite of this.
So we get our ribs out of the Fraser Valley. We, again, same thing.
Wait a second. This is delicious.
Good?
This is so good.
That's great.
But I mean, I'm getting a little bit the juicy sort of fattiness of it, but I just got a bit of the pickle too. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. You keep talking about the ribs, please.
So the ribs, same idea. Salt and pepper, apple cider vinegar sprayed on them to keep them moist, and just until they start to bend and break is what we're looking for.
What kind of ribs?
So these are St. Louis pork rib.
Pork back ribs, side
It's off
ribs?
the side rib.
Pork side ribs, okay. And is there a particular reason you choose that?
They're very even, as you can see. The size, the thickness is really even. They don't taper, so from one side to the other, the rib's going to be cooked pretty much the same across. So
Okay, and what do you serve with ribs?
nothing, just the way they are.
Can I just pick it up with my fingers?
Just your fingers.
Just like, oh, look at that. It just fell right off the bone.
Yeah, perfect.
That's
And
gotta
there's
be
a bunch
another-
of pink in there from the salt and pepper and the smoke as well.
That's another aha moment. You
It
got
is
it. You
another
got it. It's
aha
like,
moment.
yes,
You got
yes. It's even warm. This is gorgeous. Okay, how do you approach the sausages?
So sausage, we have a custom make. We use ground beef, a natural casing, and then we smoke them more or less, not to order, but we smoke them in smaller batches. So through the day, as we're doing service, they're coming out fresher. You want to see that red ring around them, and then you know that the smoke's got in there the way we want.
Fantastic.
And then the flavor is going to be great.
What are some of your popular must-haves when people are coming? You probably have brought them in here.
Definitely the brisket.
Yeah.
Ribs are huge. We also make a
Ribs are
jalapeno and
gorgeous.
cheese sausage ourselves. That's super popular. And then most of our handhelds are really popular because people can, pick what they want, have it on a sandwich, and head out.
It's gorgeous, but okay, we can't forget what goes with it. We are talking about a beer celebration here as well. Favorite brew to have with your ribs or your brisket?
For me, it's something from Parkside, like Pilsner and nice, light and crisp. The collaboration beer that we've done with that Vancouver Craft Beer Week has done is going to be great with all the barbecue as well. It's super summery, light and crisp, really cold.
Beautiful. I'm not going to crack one of those right now, but thank you so much for bringing in
you're
these
welcome.
amazing tastes, and have a great time.
Thanks for having us in.